Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 2 vs 2 on Forgotten Isles. Playing on the right side as the Eldar, we've got Good King. I've got Roman 228 playing as the Dark Eldar. Whereas on the left side, playing as the Chaos Demons, we've got Stranger. And we've got some kind of username playing as the Space Marines. So here we have it, we've got the good, we've got the bad, we've got the ugly, and we've got the Ultramarines, just as the God Emperor intended. Now, I do want to apologise, I do try and get these Ultimate Apocalypse games out for Wednesday. Try and do Unification, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Soulstorm, Saturday, like I say, Ultimate Apocalypse on a Wednesday, and random playthrough game on a Sunday. I'm trying this new crazy life hack called going to bed at 10 o'clock in the evening in an attempt to get 8 hours of sleep. Let me tell you, boys and girls, sleeping is pretty awesome, I do have to say. There we go, we've got the game afoot, and we've got the Mandrakes swooping on over to do some mischief to these Furies. Now, the Eldar combined with the Dark Eldar, they're both quite mobile, but in slightly different ways. Don't get me wrong, the Dark Eldar are quite fast on land, but they can also teleport people in, as we are seeing the Torture Slave throw down a minefield, and all he has to do is poke them, and then they'll start building them themselves. So quite useful thing, and actually, now that he's basically cornered off this strategic point, and also killed the Furies, unless they have anything else jumping on over, it's going to lock off this strategic point down here. We're also seeing a webway gate from this side as well, so plenty of shenanigans and mischief from the Eldari and the Drukari here. Now going to see the, sadly the, whatever you're called, the Burnsinger can't just perk a webway gate into life, and he's now having to, it's finished, but he's going to have to run away for his own life before jumping into the webway gate. Quite a calm engagement there, actually, as the Guardians use their flamers, which is always good against demons. Fire against the old squiggly warp things, not a bad idea. Also teleporting in some warriors as well, so very nice stuff. Yeah, Eldar, I would say that with their fleet of foot and stuff. I think the Dark Eldar have fleet of fire, or foot of fire, or whatever you call it, in Ultimate Apocalypse. Or am I getting Pro Mod mixed up with that? Which, by the by, for you boys and girls who like Pro Mod games, there is a video of that coming up soon. Itness, the madman himself, has sent a couple of games in via a DM on Discord, so that will be happening at some point in the near future when I have a chance to read the patch notes for the bowling game, because I haven't done a blooming Pro Mod game in a bajillion million years. But look at that, Howling Banshees jumping straight on over and stabbing these Furies quite, well, furiously, if you pardon the pun, or the attempted pun being made there. Demon Lord just face-checking the mines, that's a really nice touch. Assisting the, not quite traitor Marines yet, but you know, they're working on it. Maybe they just haven't quite yet undonned their noble ceramite armor and replaced it with spikes and stuff. I never quite understand why Chaos Marines cover themselves in spikes. Can't imagine it being the most aerodynamic thing to fight in. But the rule of cool, baby, that's what we play with. Howling Banshees slicing the last of the scouts up. And yeah, so Chaos Demons and Space Marines wombo comboing. I mean, later stages of the game, when the Space Marines are able to deep strike in, they will be able to match the Dark Eldar in their ability to just plop down some forces. And well, demons are demons, baby. They could just walk in, do a lot of stuff with their monster armor. But again, still struggling a little bit with these flamers on the go. Almost breaking the morale as the Demon Lord attempts to shirk off this support platform. Over yonder, Howling Banshees continue their reign of terror, although their blades aren't exactly made for breaking down buildings, so they probably want to maybe go over here and see if they could do some other stuff. But any damage is good damage in the long run. Space Marine's making some real headway on the southern side here. Do have an Archon moving down over, but lovely positioning of the Space Marines, making the maximum use of this negative cover for then getting their boots wet. God, just look at these Ultramarines. Bloody love Ultramarines. Hold on, let me just fangirl for a little bit as they fire out these filthy Xenos. Oh, we've got a wombo combo of Homunculus and the Archon. He's got no Incubus friends at the moment. They do have an attack bike to help fend them off. The Scout not having the best of times as the Space Marines are. Not sure what their mission is. I assume, trying to get involved in close combat with these warriors before then the Cyclist decided to throw them backwards a little bit. He's about to die there, sadly, as the Archon, quite a melee-orientated individual. Do you get a gun later on in the game? I think you do, when you get the upgrade. I do believe it's an upgrade that you get from the side panel in Ultimate Apocalypse. He slapped down the dude, but he will get back up because they are tough. Some Marines, though, they've been squad wiped, and all this Ultramarine army that was down here has been taken back home as the Hellions also jump in as well. Blue Demons still knocking around. Furies trying to go for that relic in the centre. As the Howling Banshees can't seem to really jump on top of these guys for reasons beyond my ken. Eldar Zinch flying on over with his, I don't know, fidget spinner of care. It's not a fidget spinner, is it? Beyblade, disc, some description. It's a thing, and he's flying on it. Yeah, the problem, Howling Banshees don't seem to be able to keep up the blue horrors, so they can just run around, and this Eldar Zinch can do all the AoE damage. He can muster quite a remarkable firing rate on this guy. So it does look like that stranger is going for a Zinch orientated fighting force. See some assault marines. Oh, it's blue on blue, or blue with blue even. So there we go. Hard to differentiate the boys. And seeing some chains going off, but I'm not quite sure who's that is activating on. Whether it's slowing someone. Oh, it's just slowing you guys down then. That's what I'm assuming it's doing. Howling Banshee's still going for it. Doing the best that they can. Dark Eldar now reclaiming this area of the map. And Good King just not taking the message here. He's just deciding, right, well, we can just keep on keeping on. Can't stop us all. Here now comes from Screamers, the melee-orientated demons for the Zinchian style of combat. Bit glass canny, kind of like the Howling Banshees. These Howling Banshees, they're a bit thicker than a snicker. Don't seem to be going down, but they will now go down now that I've mentioned it. Such is the way of the caster's curse. And what a curse it is. Able to retroactively change the outcome of games. Minefields have not been finished. They have yet to be touched by a lost soul, which is able to build things up more or less the same way that the blooming Torture Slave can. I need to kill it before it's finished. Don't think it'll be successful though. Assault Marines jumping down from on high as a whole squiggly band of demony demons come right to scare the Dark Eldar away. But they are, like I say, quite fast. Look at the speed on these bad boys. Falling, slowing down. It's temporary run ability that I do believe all units have. Or at least a good chunk of them do. Apart from maybe the demons. Although they've got like four arms, 4 legs. Combination of whatever. Something like that. Demon Lord's been doing some stuff over here. It's also been fired at. I mean, what's firing at you? Oh, you was killing some scouts that were hiding, but not quite hiding as well as they should. A new squad of... Oh, you're not Howling Banshees. You are Storm Guardians. And going for some Rangers now. So, going to put those Howling Banshees on the back shelf. I always appreciate seeing them. Definitely my favourite unit on the Eldar roster, the Tier 1. Not sure whether it's because I like them or because it's just such a rare occasion that you see them. And if you've watched as many Dawn of War casts as I have, any divergence from the norm is massively appreciated. Got plenty of fire, all coming from these Assault Marines. That's just 2 Flamers, baby. Imagine if they had a whole complement of them. That listing post goes down to... Oh, David, it looks for a second like those Space Marines decided to become loyalists for a second by burning the demons, but deciding against it. They know where their bread's buttered. Death spikes, slowing these guys down. Also, more or less instantly breaking the morale. Very nice stuff. So, a wall of death. Prevent these guys from pushing in too far. But, I mean, there is squish your target on high. Second webway assembly being built up for more plasma generators. And let's have a quick ganders at the economies. 173 and 76, a 120 and 58 for the Xenos, a 145 and 70, and bloody hell, 187 and 77 for the Space Marines. So a good chunk of change coming in for the Ultramarines as the Mandrakes just get the hell out of Dodge. Maybe going to try and reclaim their relic on the southern side. Plenty of demons that are still alive and able. Got a Torture Dam, but it's dead now, so it won't be having any effect. Disengagement. Hellions been sent to the sin bin. We've now got the Landspinner Tempests, which I assume your mission here is just to try and snipe out plasma generators. Although quite spaced out, actually. Sometimes you'll see players build all the plasma generators around the HQ, which will massively decrease the teching up time. But then if you just kill 2 plasma generators, a whole chain reaction will kill the whole thing, so it's high risk, high reward. And he's spreading them out, popping them next to the Listening Shrine to basically increase the amount of Bloomia that's coming in. But one problem with being on this part and this part of the map is that your listening posts are very, very vulnerable if the opponents can get onto your flanks. definitely need to do something about that, although thankfully the webway assembly got that heavily fortified structure armor, so we'll need some specialized doofy-doodads to be able to kill it. It does seem that the Herald of Tzeentch... Are you just within... No, you're not within range. You're just going to focus on the webway assembly instead. And Tempest flying over, although... quite like that. Don't see that often either, but infiltrated webway assemblies. Now gone for that swooping Hawk squad. It doesn't look like... It looks like they're missing, but I promise you that they are actually hitting. The graphics won't let them point their guns up. I think, I assume. So he's dead. And now the Eldar are moving on over. Still plenty of flamers. And those swooping Hawks, although they're not ideal for killing monsters. Yeah, they are monsters. It's not demon armor, it's monster armor. Not sure how that differentiates from demon armor, but it's a thing. Also got a D-cannon grav platform for the AoE damage. Are you the turret version or the moving version? Oh, you need to be attached to the squad to be moving, don't you? Got some cheeky rangers on the far-flung sides. All the good stuff. You know, all about that breaking of morale. Nightwing flying on high. AoE damage from that scatter gun thing that has, or the shuriken cannon or whatever. Super Hawks don't seem to mind taking a few shots in the face by these pink horrors. But more blue. And also that Herald of Tzeentch, killing them very quickly. Swooping Hawks are very... I mean, we've said glass cannon before, but these are like paper cannons. Get them a little bit wet, crumble like Ravita. That's what they do. I never really understood the phrase crumble like Ravita. I always thought the Ravita was the biscuits with raisins in them. Oh, that's a Mighty Boosh reference for any of you British people who watch decent TV. Well, decent TV from back when TV was moderately okay. Double melter bombs thrown on top of those land raiders, breaking it down to half health. They don't have much else to follow up on. They've got a devastator squad with double multi-melters. And more melter bombs been thrown in there. That's how you do it. But the Archon turning them against each other for a brief second before they regain their composure. One raider is down. And the raiders do come with a full complement of warriors in there. I don't believe that they can dismount. It's just for the additional damage. Homunculus been thrown in the air by the Assault Marines. But very competent. I mean, obviously in Soulstorm, the Archon comes with a bunch of Incubi friends. This dude's riding solo. What's in the Homunculus with his upgrade, which I'm running on the assumption that every time I've ever seen a bubble like this, it reduces the amount of incoming range damage. So if game design ethics are being followed, that is what that bubble does. And did you just fade into non-existence? Oh, you just came back. You died and then got that thingy that brings you back. I think. I assume. That way stuff's going on the northern side. Range has been scared away by just a whole host of demons. So definitely need the Dark Eldar to come on over and help. I know some Wraithlords, but that's plenty of pink horrors. A whole bunch of flames. One singular ranger just dashing through the warpy nonsense. And now we've got the Harlequins back out. That's what we like to see. Aspect Boss is still alive, so more people can be spawned in. How much? You've got plenty of money. Good king, you can spend it on stuff. Oh, alright, he's going to spend it on more Wraithlords. And taking up into tier 2/3. Corrosive Acid dropping down on top of these Howling Banshees will massively increase the amount of damage that they take. So it reduces their armour to naught. The Plasma Generators are the main focus of the Tzeentchian Horde. And the Dark Eldar are still fending off this small but powerful contingency of the Space Marines. As the game goes on and their upgrades go on their infantry, they become harder and harder to take care of. And now that we've got a Devastator squad with... I mean, they did have an Apothecary in there. Don't anymore, because he's probably been skewered by the Witches and that more or less unkillable Archon at this point. Teleporting in some Witches, although they're engaging in ranged combat. Don't fancy wetting their blades on the Denzians of the Eye of Terror. Infiltrated buildings as well. Might be an idea just to relocate your entire Eldar base over into the Dark Eldar side of things, just to make a little bit easier to defend. But I suppose reinforcing and rebuilding lost units will then take a while to bring back on over, so that'd be good and bad in good and bad ways. Combination of Howling Banshees and Witches. I suppose that's the one main difference in the late game for the Eldar and Dark Eldar, is that the Dark Eldar do have a fair few more close range options in the later stages. Look at the speed, the Witches. They want to give these guys the good old hand shanking. Hand shanking they're getting. Trying to ignore the chain swords of the Assault Marines and take care of these bad boys. Also, they can take out the Apothecary. That will stop all the health regen from these guys. But they're just not going down. They point blank refuse to play this game of death and dying. Plenty of pink horrors on the go. Also got some Demon Claw obelisks. So Stranger got a firm grasp in the centre. They've got the top as well, but the bottom is within the reach of the Drukari. Now building... What you... Oh, you were building plasma generators, but then you cancelled them. For a second I thought all those were destroyed somehow. Untouched, they're going to have to hobble all the way back home for that. But that's his job. And if he doesn't like it, well, he can just leave and get another one. That's how indentured servitude works, right? I'm fairly certain. Devastating Marines are about to die. Unless they can reinforce themselves. Oh no, he's just going to narrowly avoid death, potentially. All these flamers on the go. Although these flamers are being turned against themselves for a little while. Archon must have gone for his upgrades on that ability, as it seems to have lasted a little bit longer. Now got the Gladiator Command Squad. Are they not the most gorgeous unit you've ever seen in your life? Golden pauldrons, a wispy, well not a wispy, a grand moustache of wings. I mean, that's the only way you can make Space Marines more intimidating, is just by giving them a John Temple-esque moustache. By the by, if you're not keeping up with the adventures of John Temple in both Wasteland 3 and Fear and Hunger 2, I highly recommend it. It is truly a remarkable tale of ups and downs, smiles and frowns. You've never seen a more heroic individual attempt to do good things and then fail at the good things and end up somehow being the baddie every time. It's a classic. Can't go wrong with it. It's just organic storytelling. Yeah, we're in that stage where now the Space Marines have got the money and the technology to start deep striking ironclad dreadnoughts. And don't get me wrong, the Archon is a beefy boy, but ironclad dreadnought is more so, some would say. Over a big engagement. We've got, what are you called? You are Deceiver of Zinch. Just infinite levels of pink horrors. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like, they could potentially fight them off, but I mean, all that's going to happen is that just more pink horrors are going to be summoned forth. And they've kind of got to that critical mass now where, even though they practically do a lot of damage against vehicles, if they just concentrate fire on infantry as well, that will get them dead pretty nicely. Swooping Hawks trying to not be on fire for 5 seconds. There we go. Managing to put themselves out. Stopping, dropping, but not rolling. Yeah, at this point you get the hell out of dodge, don't you? You've seen some Shining Spears, some Dark Reapers, and some Fire Dragons. Night Spinners, that's what I would think from the Eldar. AoE long range. This is becoming a meme at some point now, I think. We're going to have to play Landshark Bingo, where, you know, 1, he mispronounces a word, that's a mark. 2, he gets distracted and starts talking about things that aren't Dawn War related, that's another mark. And 3, he recommends artillery. That's, get all 3 and you get a, I don't know, I'll send you a biscuit in the post or something. There we go, everything's dying. It's a sad time for the Eldar. It might not be dying to Slanesh, but it's probably just as bad in the short term. There's the Night Spinners. If you just, you know, listen to me in the past, retroactively again, that's not happening. We need some Drukari assistance, but oh no, the Telos is stuck. Oh no, can he bob and weave? Ah, he's a nimble Talos. He can do anything. Double ironclads, high-fiving the portals in the face as the Vanguard veterans with their very shiny pauldrons cut down the Cabal fortress. The Eldar need to get out of dodge. whatever way they can. Oh, and just as the Night Spinner leaves, Talos attempts to come in. He's going to do a spinny thing. Yes, Talos, that's what we like. He won't survive for much longer, but it was a cool entrance. He stuck the superhero landing. As Deadpool would say, we're going to go for improved fleet of foot research as a parting gift. Some demon artillery in the form of the Hellspawn. Much faster firing rate. And took down that Night Spinner. Doesn't do nearly as much damage, but I mean, just, you know, the sheer rate of firepower. That's fine by him. Good King says GG. No mass, no pass. Still got some Swooping Hawks on the go for him, but do you have any more builders? You've got no more builders. Go on, just try and send one away. Another Talos jumps in, but not nearly as impressive. He's attempting to show that Hellspawn the business. And if he didn't do the spinny thing, I reckon he could have almost got it, maybe. Not quite. So now it's just the Dark Eldar to make their peace with their gods. They've got these Scourges with their Dark Lances to take care of the Ironclad Dreadnoughts. But now we've got the mighty infantry of the Space Marines to withhold. Demon Prince of Zinch with his birdie-like wings. Kentucky Fried Chaos on his way. More spinny stuff. But yeah, I think just attacking with your claws, Talos. That's what you want to do. And the Demon Prince of Zinch slapping him down like a bad smell. Now the Dark Eldar are going to have to do a heroic last stand. They don't have much to work with yet. They've got some wrecks. The Eldar are still alive somehow. Where is your last recruitment building? I can't. Oh, you built it in here, right? Oh, fair enough. I like that. Dark Eldar and Eldar working together. They're practically Ynnari at this point. Oh god, it's Steel Rain. He's bringing out the Skull. Yes, the Skull Probe meta. I hope this continues. From our last 1 versus 1. Chaos Space Marines versus Space Marines. If the Skull Probe meta isn't a consistent thing for the rest of the game, then I don't know what is. Got Venerable Dreadnought, which is another marvellous looking model there. Plenty of gold stuff on it. Beautiful stuff to see. Look, Pal Fortress is still standing strong. That's something on the Reaver jet bikes. But the Ironclad Dreadnoughts, they've knocked on the wrong door here. This is all the anti-vehicle you could ever want. Even their Iron Hides can't withstand the amount of AV firepower coming in. But every time I see an Ironclad Dreadnought, it reminds me that on my shelf at home, I do have an Ironclad Dreadnought that is half painted. And every time I buy a new box of Warhammer or Blood Bowl, it looks at me, a judging eye, says, please, finish me. And I say, no, not today. I will do your second layer of purple another time. Star's trying to come out and do another thing. Now's the time to do your spinny gun thing. No. There we are. Get some good and proper. Knocks a couple in the water. While turning his attention to the Hellspawn once again. But one very brave Vanguard veteran. Attempting to tussle with him. Plenty of pink demons coming from the north. And it's just a disco of pinks, purples. But I appreciate Talos Convoy. Just auto-build them. They'll eventually win. Are they the most terrible vehicle in Dawn of War? At least in vanilla they are. Oh no, in Ultimate Apocalypse they seem to be. It's a little bit... I mean, they're bigger at the very least. And, you know, the size is the prize, as the boys at the gym would say. The Racks attempting to keep the Vanguard veterans back. Things are being fired in by the Hellspawn, knocking everyone around by the looks of things. Scourges jumping for joy into combat, but must be shot down all the same. And everything's happening. We've even got a blooming Storm Raven Fury, which I just love the nosedive it does when it fires. But yeah, so I think it was just a case of, I mean, both sides, a good bit of poking and prodding from everything, but I think it was just this critical mass of pink horrors. I don't think that the combat from the Space Marines and Dark Eldar on the southern side were a game-defining or a game-changing kind of engagement. The Venerable Dreadnoughts or the Ironclad Dreadnoughts would have pushed on further forward. Scourges would then push them back, maybe back over here. Space Marines would have had a counter. and then the back and forth would have continued. But it was just a critical mass of pink horrors gradually building over time. The Eldar didn't really have the AoE damage to be able to take on the mass of demons coming their way, and then died, and that was it, really. So yes, cheers, boys, for sending this game into the Discord, and if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week, and there is also a Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. As with Miss Landshark, pleasure's always never short, and I will see you in a bit. Peace.